What is up, brochachos? My name is Derek, or better known as Adept, and I am here with a tutorial. I'm basically going to call it my first tutorial. It's really not. I did one a long time ago, like almost a year ago. It was really bad. So, I'm going to make a new one right now. And this is Advanced Twixtor. A lot of people, Twixtor is very common. Everybody knows how to use Twix. Most people know how to use Twixtor. I can't say everybody, but most people do. So, my Twixtor is a little bit different than most people's. I like to do it a little bit like more spastic and kind of random, just kind of out there. And I'm going to show you what we're going to go from and what we're going to make. So this is already made, so it's going to be a little bit different when I actually make it. But in general, this is what it is. This is the clip without any Twixtor on it at all. This is what it just looks plainly synced in that. So, this is what we're going to be making. See, it's a little bit more advanced. It looks very clean because it's not hard. It's hard, but at the same time it's soft. So, we're going to go in here, and this is actually the whole composition for that. CC and everything. So, I'm going to just make a new one. This is the second clip. I know this is actually my actual folder for this actual montage. So, let's go in. This is actually not Berserk's montage. This is actually my episode. So, let's go in here. We're going to type in Twixtor. You want to grab Twixtor Pro. That's the much better one. And then you always want to make sure it's set to 59.94 frames per second. That is a must. So now, we're gonna scroll through and I'm gonna find the shots. So the way a lot of people don't know this, but the way you can find the shots is, do you see this little like red thing that's coming right here? It's red and white as a red glowing outside of it's white, and it's usually a line. That's actually the bullet. So then that's where you want to put your syncing. Every single time that's where we're gonna put the syncing. That's the best spot. Do not put it when the hit marker pops up. Put it where that bullet comes. That's the best spot. So do Control-Shift-D, and that will then split the clip. And then you want to go down again, and you want to then find, I leave it blank or black like that, so I know easily where to find it. So here it is. That's the shot, and then there should be two more. This one I believe is a little bit, no, there's a bullet. So let's go hit that, and I'm hitting Control-Shift-D to split this every single time. That's what you do. That's those are the hotkeys for After Effects. So there you go. The entire thing right now is split up like that. So now, this is where it gets kind of interesting. You want to keyframe it at 100 in the beginning. I have to hit U to bring that out, and then you just kind of go insane. Really, I like to use 3 as my slowest, and then let's just kind of randomly pull it. That works. 113. 3 again. Go over here. Go really high. And then 3 again. Hold on one second. My parents are calling me. Alright, I'm back. So, we went to there. I think 383 is a little high. So I'm going to tune that down to about 203, I guess. And you have 3 there, and then you want to speed it up again. But this time you want to get the scope. The scope should start coming in a little bit more right here. And go here. Don't be afraid if it zooms in there, because when you hit 3, it's not going to be fully zoomed in anymore. So there you go. And then what I like to do is you hold down Shift, by the way, to go to the last frame of that layer. And you grab it, and you go like this, and then you go right before the bullet. So there you go. So you have it. It's kind of spastic a little bit. It looks really clean, actually. Let me just quickly RAM preview that. And that should look it should look pretty good. It's a very clean looking effect. Not too much involved in it. Minimal warping too. Like you'll see some warping on the outside of it. I just pointed at my screen. But you'll see a little bit of minimal warping, but in general there's not much warping involved in this. And because it's so fast, you won't be able to really notice it. See, it's kind of boom, 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 boom. And it looks very clean. And sometimes it can even sound like it's synced up to the song, even if it's not. Now, this is a little bit more difficult. Without adding a single cinematic, you have to make this entire area right here interesting. And this is kind of long. This is about 1.5 to 2 seconds. That's kind of long. So I have another little trick for that, really, and that involves screen pumping. So I'm gonna show, this is gonna be syncing, screen pumping. This is gonna be a really big tutorial in general with like what I'm actually teaching you. So then you want to go in the front of the clip again, hit 100, go out, and now this is where I like to do something else. A lot of people don't do this. I like to hit one and do 150, and then go about out here ish, kind of hit 3. And then I'm going to just kind of do a little bit of a speed up right here, just so it gets that bolt out. And then hit 3 again. Go out here, leave it at 3. Hit this to keyframe it at that spot. And then go here. Let's actually go a little bit closer, so I have a little bit of wiggle room there. Go right about there. Hit 3 again. It's going to be a little farther zoomed out. And then shift. And then go like this, and so since, as you saw, it's starting to go black, so there you go. So that's all kind of, it's a little more interesting now. And you have that. So there's that one. And basically this is the whole way I use Twixtor. It's a very simple method, but it's very effective, and it looks very clean in general, especially if you can do it right. It's something that you really just have to practice and work at to figure out the way you like it to do. Don't do exactly what I'm doing, because it will probably not work for you. But a lot of people have come to me asking me how I do it, and this is exactly how I do it. I will sit here and just do this. This is the way I will do it. And I actually personally like to RAM preview it every single time I do a Twixtor like that, just so I can see if it works out right. And then I give it about 50 frames afterwards, so I can get a little bit of it. See, that looks pretty clean. It's not too exciting, but again, we had the exciting stuff in about a couple minutes once we actually finish Twixtor syncing this whole thing. So then you go again, do 100, hit U, do one of, let's do one. Yeah, I like to stick with 150 personally. That's just my kind of number for some reason. Hit 3 again, and now this is where it gets a little bit interesting. So now, I wish I could record both monitors. I actually have dual monitors, so I'm going to snap like that. Okay. So let's, nope, don't want you to see that. So then, this one, right here in the song, there's actually 2 hits right here that I have it synced to. The way it says, duh, duh. I don't know what they're saying, it's not English, but you can definitely do something with that. So what I like to do then is I will do that, and you see where that is. So then you have to bring this open. You turn off Twixtor so you don't see it at all, and then you have to actually find it, and I believe it is actually right here. Am I right? Might be 1 frame ahead. Yes. And what I do to find where the exact frame is in this guy, as I look at these outside markers, kind of like this, I'll look at where the numbers are, where the 100 is, where the kill feed is. I don't look at all this stuff because this stuff is too far away to be able to tell exactly where it is. But this stuff, it's so precise you can usually easily figure it out. So that's where that is. So what I like to do now, this is where it gets a little bit kind of trickier. So let's turn Twixtor back on. So then let's bring the 3 a little bit closer to it like that. And let's go like 200 and then go down to 3 again. There we go. So just kind of a little bit of a jump. Boo-doo. Let's go a little bit higher than 230. Let's go like 400. It kind of starts to zoom in a little bit. And so now you turn Twixtor off again. You go back here, you find your second keyframe. So this one, I'm gonna use this helicopter as reference. So helicopter looks, actually I think it's actually forward. It's right here actually. This is where it is. So you want to turn Twixtor right back on. There you go. And I'm just going to make a keyframe there. The keyframe will be changed. I'm going like 6. Let's go like right here. And then you want to hit the keyframe there. Then you want to go back to this keyframe. To do that, you hold shift and you just drag it over and it locks onto that. Go up some, right about there. And now you go a little bit kind of farther away. You hit 3 again. And now you just go in for this guy. So right there is right before the bullet. Let's see how that works. That should be pretty much synced up to that actual, to the two vocal parts. I really hope it is. This is this is actually going pretty well for my first tutorial. Yeah, I'm not really that good at beatboxing. I'm just kind of waiting for this stuff to RAM preview. It can take a little while to RAM preview it. I like to RAM preview the entire thing because I do like to see a lot of it. I like to see how it flows together. A lot of people just RAM preview just that clip. I can't do that. I need to see the entire thing. Alright, that's fine. There's a bit of warping, but that will be fixed with RSMB, which is Real Smart Motion Blur. That can it's not a perfect fix, but it works. So let's go right there. Then let's hit 3. Hit U. Go out here again. Go kind of there-ish. Hit 3. Oh god. Hit 3 again. And now go out here and let's speed it up a little bit again. And then hit 3 again. It's going to be right about there, and now you go here, and then you go right before the bullet. Which is right there. Yep. And now, I guess we should probably watch that back. So now, when it's blue, when that line is blue at the top, the green loading bar, when that's blue, that means it's pretty much previewed, but they just need to fix a couple things. I'm not exactly sure why it does that, but it does do that. So I have to pull the bolt back, and here it goes. And now the final clip, the final last part is actually a little bit difficult just because of the way it works, because I turn around instantaneously almost. So I really gotta fix that. See? Instantaneously turn around. So now if you heard, this final shot is very slow. It's like, it's a slowed down shot. So now this is where it gets a little tricky. So you do 100, and now because this is a stay on quad feed, it stays on, I can do this. So now I go around here to right out there, but now I hit 3. So that's like that. Only problem with this is, look, it doesn't load the motion for a couple frames here, which can look really bad, which I fixed by just going to the end and just hitting 100. That might make it a little too far. I mean, like, you can still see it stop, but it stopped for much. There's a lot less frame stops. Let's turn this down a little bit though. Let's go like right here. So there we go. There is an advanced Twixtor syncing tutorial. Now let's go into the actual effects of this then. What I added on later. I can put, there's a lot of stuff I can, you have to download a bunch of editing packs. I recommend you download both Enigma's editing packs. I will put them both in the link in the description if they are still uploaded. Hopefully they are. I will put them both. So that looks good. So now to what I actually added on to this guy. If you look, there are quite a few little effects. They're very small effects, but they are there. See, if you look, so they're not really effects, they're more just overlays in general, but there is 1 or 2 effects actually built in this one. So let's go in and I will now show you those. So you want to go here, but what you need is you need to come over to your actual whatever drive it is. I don't know which one it is. So then you would go to his Enigma's editing pack, overlays, and the one you want to grab is one of the more famous overlays. I gotta wait for my thing to load up. My computer's been running kind of slow recently. This is the one you want. You want it to look just like this. So take this and you drag it into your After Effects by just clicking and dragging in, and it should say copy. I already have it in, so I do not need to bring that in. Let me just find it. This is it right here. Okay. So you drop it in, bring it to the top, drag it all the way over. So now you want to right click on it, go to blending mode, and click add. So now it's added to the actual thing. So now here's where I do something a little different. So you bring it over right to your marker at the beginning of your first shot. You hit T, opacity, you keyframe that, and you type in 25%, because there's 4 shots exactly. You can get up to 100% at the last shot. So now you go here, you go 1 frame before the next shot, you hit that, go 1 frame, go to the next frame, type in 50%. So now you go do the exact same thing for all of the shots, and it's a very subtle effect, but it looks very nice. Oh god, I forgot to hit actually type this. 5. So we go right here, and we hit this, and we go here, and now we type in 100. So now that's full on. That is completely full on. I think I'm actually gonna turn this down. Let's go to probably 15%. Then just so it's not too much movement, but there is a little bit of movement, because I like there to be a little bit of movement, not a lot though. So you have that. That's the first little thing. The second one, you want to go to layer, new, solid, and you want to have it like this, and then you hit black, or you hit OK. So you go over to your effects and you type in optical flares, or you can really just type in optic, and it should come up. If you have the Video Copilot optical flares, you have to have that though. So now you want to right click on that layer, go to blending mode, hit add, and there's your little flare. It's right here, fun to play with. So now you want to go to right at that shot, and then you want to find out exactly where you zoom out, which is right here. Cut that, leave that guy there, and you want to bring your optical flare to, oh nope, you want to grab just this little marker right here, drag him to about like where there's a little bit of an open air. It'll be different for everybody. And now this is where I'm going to show you what optical flare I use exactly. I believe it is in this, because I've actually made one. So you go to sunspot, and now I actually like to scale it down a little bit in general. I do like to make I'll the aspect ratio normal, and shape is normal. Texture, I like to add a bit of a coarse texture to this one, because it looks really good. I like a little bit of a red and blue shift, not too much, and you just turn up the intensity just a little bit, not too much or else you get that, but just a little bit, kind of like 15% or 11.5, sorry. And now contrast, just turn that up a little bit to about 6%. There you go. Now you click OK. There you go, it created it. It's a bit bright right now. We will fix that. And now this is my favorite color ever. Feel free to steal this. So click on that. When this comes up, you type in the little number right here. You type FF4E00, and it brings up this beautiful orange. This is the orange that I've used for a long time. I still use it. This is the first I brought it back because I really love the color, to be honest. So now you want to turn down, or here's what I'll do. You turn up the brightness a lot, keyframe that, go a little bit in kind of like right here, and then you turn it down to about 100. And now flicker, this I just kind of randomly do, blah blah blah, kind of. This is all stuff you'll have to figure out on your own. The flicker, see, it's not a lot of flicker, but it works. So now you have to keyframe position X, Y. You go like right here because he's still kind of not turned around yet. Drag him over a little bit. I'm just kind of guessing right now. I don't actually know. And then you have to go here, and because he's all the way off, you have to drag him all the way off, but he's still upwards. So there you go. And now it moves a little bit, so you kind of want to move him back a little bit, kind of like that. And that should be just about it for optical flares, that stuff. So now let's go into looks, which is magic bolt looks, which is what I'm going to use for the actual color correction. My color corrections are insanely simple. Not gonna lie to you, not much involved. So when you do that, you open it up. Wait for it to open up. If it ever actually opens up, I'm waiting for it to open up. Come on, buddy. There we go. Okay. So now here's what you do. You drag over the corner. I personally, you should start with subject always. So now I drag on curves and I go up, up, down, down. It gives it a very nice just contrast in general. And that's all I really deal with that. And then you go to lens distortion. This is something that a lot of people don't know how to use right, but I do. I do enjoy it. So to start at about here, you want to drag this inner circle in right here to about there. And drag this outer circle let's just drag it kind of like right about there. And I'll probably drag this in a little bit more so it gives a little bit more warping. It's a very subtle thing, but it can add a lot in general to your actual thing. Then vignette, you want to zoom all the way out, drag him out, and if you look, it adds just a little bit of darkness to the corners. Not a lot, but just enough to where it's noticed, to where you can kind of notice it. And it adds such a subtle effect. And now you want to go to camera, neg, bleach, bypass. So this is what it's going to do. And you want to turn the exposure and the silver retention, you want to turn that to about 40 right there. And that is my color correction. It's very small, very simple, but it adds a very nice effect to it. And now for the final thing, type in RSMB, which is Real Smart Motion Blur. Drag it on there, and I like to leave standard setting. Just go to 0.75 and done. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is Twixtor, optical flares, RSMB, looks, overlays. That's all in one tutorial. That is a very big thing. So I hope you enjoyed. Look out for some more, and if you want it, and if you need any, and if you want to make any more tutorials, give me some ideas and I will do them. Thanks, and I've been Derek, and yeah, I'm out.